Hey y'all, it's Chrissy O here, and today we are going to find our happy, yes, another great just traveling adventure so we can go find our pursuit of happiness. And what I found very happy today was the North Carolina Farmers Market. How awesome. Absolutely love going there. And it had been a right good long time since we had been. So it was good to actually get out and go to the farmer's market and go find some fresh vegetables, flowers, talk to people who actually grow these wonderful flowers and produce and all different types of just wonderful folks that we ran into that I got to talk to. I didn't put a lot of them or any of them really on camera, just out of respect. And this is about just finding simple happipiness in things that you can see. And especially food. Food makes me happy, right? And if you're not allergic to different types of foods, then, yeah, food makes you happy. Food makes me very happy. And I love to cook, too. So in this little episode, I'm going to kind of show you what we found, what we saw, and just kind of walk around and give you guys the grand tour. Now, the North Carolina Farmers Market is in Raleigh. That's Wake County, North Carolina. If you've never been, it is humongous. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of things to it. There's also a really great restaurant out there. Now, we didn't go eat at the restaurant yesterday. The primary goal was to go look for strawberries and to look for some fresh vegetables so I could cook some really good meals for my family, especially coming up this weekend. We went around, and when you first get to the farmer's market, it can kind of be a little overwhelming because you don't know what to look for and you don't know where to go first. So I always like to start at the very far end. And not a lot of booths are active right now because farmers and a lot of people are bringing in their hothouse vegetables or plants or whatever and produce and things. And there's still some seasonal things that they need to do to get crops in. But I like to start at the very back of the building. And the reason why is because that's where the flowers usually are, and the food is more closer towards the roadside at the end. So starting at the very end, there wasn't really a whole lot of booths there. There was some open space, and I can't wait to go back later on, in a couple of months just to see who is there and what's going on there. It was really nice being there on a Friday. It wasn't as busy as it usually is because the weekends are really busy for the farmers market. So I like to try to go during the week because then you kind of get the pick of the best things that you can see out there. But I like looking at the flowers. And there was the most adorable lady there, and I wish I had asked her now for permission to put her on camera because it would have been wonderful. She was explaining to me about flowers and how people overwater flowers and just different types of things like that, how you can sustain your flowers. And I was explaining to her that I am not a wonderful green-thumbed gardener. And we laughed a little bit, and we had a good conversation, and we talked about it. And she really had some beautiful flowers, just beautiful pots and flowers. As you can see, I'll insert the footage so you can see all these flowers that I saw on her table. It was beautiful rows and rows of them. And she was really nice in explaining to me what I was doing wrong and how to help me correct that. And I really appreciate that because I don't want to overwater my plants. I love flowers just as much as the next person. and I don't want them to be all wilty and brown and rot and just not do well for me. So she explained to me that a lot of flowers, depending on the variety, unless they're impatient plants. Impatient plants need water like all the time. But a lot of the other plants that she had there said it was good, you know, I could water them once a week. And if the leaves curled downwards, they're trying to protect their little plant bodies, and they need water. And then when you water them a little bit, not overwater them, then the leaves will come back out. That made sense, because even growing up around two of the best gardeners in my entire life were my grandmothers, right? My Granny Lorraine was a wonderful gardener, and my Granny Ludy Bell, who's still living, is a wonderful gardener. And they grew the best flowers, but they weren't good at explaining those things. They just did what they did, you know? So I felt like, wow, okay, I can actually do this. So I'm going to try to put some of those things in place at home so I don't continue to kill any more pretty flowers and plants. Then just walking around looking at all of the different things in the booths, and just, wow, it was awesome. And just the flowers were, oh, they just smelled so good. That just made me so happy. It smelled so good in there. And as you walk past beyond the flowers, you get to all the produce and the vegetables. And they had honey there, and they had a bakery, you know, they had like cookies and all kinds of things there. And the strawberries, you could just smell them. We actually bought a whole entire bucket of strawberries, and then we went and actually bought some strawberry plants. So I'm going to insert that footage in here where you can see where we actually purchased some strawberry plants, and she was explaining to us how you plant them in a zigzag pattern if you can't plant them in your yard, which we can't because of all the deer. And if you've seen our videos with the woods, then you'll know.
So she's got pretty growth coming up in the middle though. So she's a pretty one. Let's see. This is a pretty big one. Like I said, these guys have already been in the ground, so they've got some to come off of it. So I would just clip that and that one, and she'll keep coming. See, she's already got new growth coming in.
Oh,
so
good.
She's pretty. So that's three. We need 3 sweet Charlies. Let's see.
So pretty.
This one. It's not fun. You want no berries, so you can one that's. Or would you rather a bigger one?
No, this is fine.
She's got a berry coming. She's got fruits coming too.
Yes.
All right. So that's 3.
Yeah, 3 then.
Awesome.
So you want here? Let's take a tag. Sweet Charlies. Yes. Sweet Charlies in one bag and Chandler's in the other.
We get Sweet Charlies and Chandler's.
Yeah. Chandler's aren't as sweet, right?
No, they are.
Okay.
They're all sweet. Thank you. It's just the timing is the difference between the two.
I want you to take time to look at these vegetables. Just look at how vibrant the colors are, how pretty they are, how large they are. Now I ended up getting cabbage and some spring onions and some of the biggest carrots I think I had ever seen in my life. They would make any bunny rabbit like completely ecstatic to have for his little bunny rabbit family, right? But I got all of these really cool vegetables, Brussels sprouts, man, you know, zucchini, you name it, I got it. Because we're going to do a little quick little pan recipe I used to eat growing up. Because growing up, when you have grandparents that are farmers, tenant farmers, or produce farmers, like I did, then you learn to eat a lot of stuff that came out of the garden. So I think it's really important if we learn to not only have our own flowers, but grow our own produce, even if you put it, you know, on your back porch or whatever you have, where, you know, in a container garden, if you don't have a yard or wherever. I think it's really important for us to do those things and to grow those things. And it's important to eat it too, because it's good for you. You know, some people don't like to eat vegetables. Well, just put cheese on it. That's what I do. Just put cheese on it and people will typically eat that. So look at all of these beautiful tables, just rows and rows and rows of vegetables. Oh my goodness. There were so many things to choose from and some pretty good prices. And they have fresh eggs. I just cannot explain to you the amount of fresh produce that was there and how good it smelled. I don't know if you guys like the smell of fresh food and fresh vegetables, but I do. And mixed in with the beautiful, beautiful flowers. Oh my gosh. It was, it was awesome. It was so really cool. So then we walked around and we went to look at the pottery. They have this wonderful little shop that you can go into, and it's full of all of these great metal works of art, all of these great pottery finds and bird baths. Now, I do love a bird bath, but you know, if you can afford, you know, fancy bird baths, because some of those were really fancy and they were very heavy, then by all means, please go get that. I didn't go home with a bird bath, but I sure did like to look at them. And there was a guy that was filling one up with water, so they were getting ready to start the little bird bath thing for everybody to see. And it makes just pretty sounds, and it's, you know, good for little birdies to have fresh little water, and it makes for a nice decoration out in your yard. But they had just tons and tons of things, from pictures to pots to, you know, any kind of decor, country decor, whatever you want to call it. It was really, really nice. So if you guys get a chance to go out there, please go visit the little pottery part of it and maybe find something that you can use in your yard or your home. And I love outdoor things, so maybe you can find something that you like. I just went there to visit and to show you guys. Now, beyond the pottery places, there's other rows of stores and different types of buildings that you can go in. And inside of those buildings are like little mini Kobe's, or different stores where they sell different things. And you have candy, and you have just food, and they have some meats, and some guy was in there that had fish. So there's all different types of shirts and food and different things in there. My favorite thing was when we got the fresh juice. I love me some freshly squeezed juice. So I'm going to insert that footage in right here so you can see it. Now, what my hubby got, he got the orange. And it's like an orangeade, really. So she squeezes the orange, and then they put the cherries and the cherry juice in there, and the simple syrup and the distilled water. It was awesome. And then I got the lime, lemon, and orange with blueberries in it. And it was just amazing. It was so good. And it's good to have those fresh juices too, because I think we drink so many drinks, carbonated drinks and sodas and things that, you know, it's not really good for us. But some good old infused, you know, juice. You don't even have to put the simple syrup to make it sweet in there. You could just have just the regular water infused with the fruit in there. That just made it great. But, you know, have those options. And if you feel better when you eat better, that's a good thing, you know, to do. So that's one of the goals that I'm trying to work on, is to eat a lot better so I can feel a lot better, so we can find more happy things and do more happy things, and then we're all able to go out and do all of these wonderful adventures and things together, because I think that's really cool. But it was a really nice building to go into. We didn't go into any of the other buildings because I just wanted to show you what we did and how fun it was. So if you are so inclined, please do me a favor and like and subscribe and share. I'm on all forms of social media, just trying to make you smile, trying to make your day a lot brighter so you can have more happier times just like me, because I think we all need happier times. And if you have a local farmer's market in your area, your state, your county, your city, your town, whatever, then go out and visit that. I know we get so involved in grocery stores and this and that and the other because it's faster or some things may be cheaper. Yeah, we can get some of the cheap canned foods, but to me there is nothing better than a fresh bag of, Brussels sprouts, or a big clump of spring onions, or tomatoes, or potatoes or something. Anything that comes out of the ground that a farmer worked on to have your fresh produce. I think that's well worth going out to visit because you never know what else they make and what else they do. I've bought some really cool things from farmers markets and stuff that we used and stuff that we liked. And I just think it's really awesome that we should all go out and visit farmers markets and local gardens and just have a really good time with being happy with food and the right kind of food and food that's good for us to make us feel better. Because if you feel better, you eat better, you're gonna feel better, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. So that's a great thing. So enjoy this little instrumental piece here while we just look at all the wonderful fresh produce. And believe it or not, it's worth your money and it's worth your time, and a lot of things aren't as expensive as you think. So thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I do appreciate it. We'll be on all forms of social media. So thanks, and I hope this made your day, and I hope it made you really, really happy like it did me. So we'll see you guys really, really soon. So thanks again, and let's go with Chrissy O.